Shalom, all praises to the Most High and His Son, Christ the King, and to the 12 tribes scattered. Greetings. This is Jakim Ben Israel. Family, I just can't believe this. This guy looked totally different. I had to literally go research and see if it's the same guy. Because it's this time when I was looking at Ron Isley, man, I couldn't believe. It was incredible. So that's what the Most High says, because a beard makes you look like a man. Imagine a lion without a mane. So we got to get him programmed, you know what I mean? Get back to these laws. Simple. Okay, so let's go to beard. Let's go to beard. All right? Beard. This is in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. All right? The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. All right? Beard. A badge of manly dignity. As a sign of mourning, it was the custom to pluck it out or cut it off. The Israelites were forbidden to shave off the corners of their beards, probably because it was regarded as a heathenish sign. All right. Leviticus 19 and 27. When it said heathenish, mainly the Israelites, the other nations that are not Israelites. That's another thing, people. The Bible is not an international book. Okay? The Greeks and the Romans basically stole our records and was like, you know what, this is for everybody now. So now, in the future, we're telling you that, guess what, you're the Israelites. We have specific customs. When we worship, we have to worship as a nation of people, not a church group. Okay? And this is how we get our power back in the world, because our God is behind this. Okay? The beard is a badge of manly dignity. Just look how powerful and how strong this brother looked, Ron Isley. All right? These are our customs. The Greek customs was to shave off their beard. The Egyptian custom was to shave off their beard, their hair. Remember now, the so-called Edomites, the so-called white man, they basically take the customs of the ancient cultures, the ancient cultures that were in power, that God destroyed. Okay? So the Egyptians, everybody know, the Egyptians, they don't like hair. And it's commanded in our record that we do not do the hedonist customs. All right? Shalom, family. So this is a book called Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. And what we're showing you in this book was copyrighted in 1952. All right, renewed in 1980. Okay? On page 123. All right, because this is to show and to prove that being black, called black, it can never be a nationality. God gave us a name. All right? The reason why we are known as the Jews, the real black Jews of the Bible, the descendants that was exiled into all these slave countries, all right? We were the ones that were called Judah. So Judah, Jew is short for Judah, all right? And as you know, there are 12 tribes. And also there were 2 nations in the nation of Israel. All right? The nation of Judah, and you got the kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel, which is known as the southern kingdom, okay? That consists of the 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And then you got the northern kingdom, which were, the head is Ephraim. That would consider your so-called Latinos of today. Taínos, all right, the descendants of the slave trade. But watch this. Waltz says an interesting gradation of all shades down to the black is exhibited by the Jews, especially dark were the Jews of Spain, because we used to rule Spain, and Portugal. The Portuguese Jews were very dark, says Pritchard. The Duchess of the Bretes, wife of Napoleon's ambassador to Portugal, said that the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in a single person. So dark were the Jews, especially of Portugal and Spain and southern Spain, that many whites thought all Jews were black or dark. This belief, says Bartos, shows what an error most people are in, since he says the German Jews, as for example, those of Prague, are as white as most of their German countrymen. Many of the Jews who were banished from Portugal by John II. All right, here we go. Here we go. John II. Let's keep the thought. Settled in the West Indies. John Bigelow, who visited Jamaica in 1850, saw the descendants of these Jews and say they were Negroid. All right. So Shalom family, just like that. Yo, Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. Thou shalt not make baldness upon their head, neither thou shalt shave off the corners of their beard, nor make any cuttings in the flesh. That goes into tattoos. All right. So this puts another spin on having the whole armor of God, because when you talk about it, it's always things that you must do, and you can't make up your own things. There's specific things the Most High wants us to do. Like a man should have a beard, okay? And that's why it says, guess what? You wear a beard, you look like a man, okay? Watch this. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. So you can't, wear your hair like your head like Steve Harvey or like Michael Jordan. That's actually being in sin as Israelites, not as a black man assimilated into European culture, but as a Israelite black man, biblical, God, raised, roots, culture, the protection of the Most High when you keep his laws. And one of the laws is for a man to have a beard. All right, you see this word? It's called Hellenist. Hellenist, all right? Jews who made Greek their tongue, and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices. All right, Acts 6, 1, 9, and 21. All right, we wasn't practicing East Indian culture, so-called Persians. We wasn't quick to do the so-called Asian cultures, Moab and Ammon. No. The Bible has it documented that in the last days, and when we were going through our oppression, we have a lot of history of the Israelites leaving our customs, all right, and practicing the Greek customs. And it was the same problem that we had in Egypt. When you read in our records, even in the Bible, it says, look, learn not the ways of the heathen. So when you hear people talk about, oh, race is there's nothing to do with race in the Bible, guess what? It's in the forefront, just like in the news right now. All right, and you must know, the Most High God of Jacob and Abraham is a jealous God, and He wants us to keep His customs, His laws. One of the Greeks' laws, I'm not going to say it was a law, it was more of a custom, that we shaved off our beards, okay? And this was in honor of their gods. And we as Israelites were forced to keep the Greek and the Romans' laws, all right? So we could blend in. This is how we turn Gentiles. So when you hear about us being Hellenized, assimilated, okay, it was a problem. And that's one of the reasons why the Chinese cut off the internet. They know one of the indirect ways to gain world domination is to convince everyone else on the planet to do your customs, your laws, because guess what happens? Then everybody start buying your products on their holidays, doing their customs. Nobody's doing the East Indian customs like that. You might have one or two women that might paint their hands, all right? You got one or two people that end up, dealing with the so-called Asian culture. But at the root of it, the Bible is showing you that at the end of in the last days, all right, in the last days, so people don't know, the last days began when Christ left Jerusalem, when He was taken up in the clouds. And we were under Roman persecution, Roman occupation in our own land. Okay? And that's why the Most High, that's why the Most High sent Christ as a savior to give us instructions on what to do and how to live amongst these nations who would like to kill us. All right? So, not to make it drawn out, our beard was a custom, and all nations knew how important this was. There was actually even a story that one of King David's men got his beard cut off as a disrespect. Okay, so this is a story, family, that I was telling you about. All right, jump to 2 Samuel chapter 10. All right, and it came to pass after this that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanan, Hanu, his son, reigned in his stead. Then said David, I will show kindness unto Hanu, the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness unto me. And David sent to comfort him by the hand of his servants for his father. And David's servants came into the land of the children of Ammon. So you just got to imagine, David didn't send them empty-handed, because that's actually one of our laws that, when you show up somewhere, you don't come empty-handed. You always bring something. Okay? So we more than likely brought food, wine, strong drink, and certain things that he could use that could benefit him. All right? And David's servant came into the land of the children of Ammon. And the princes of the children of Ammon said unto Hanu, Dear Lord, thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he had sent comforters unto thee? Had not David rather sent his servant unto thee to search the city and to spy it out and to overthrow it? Because these dudes know how we get down, man. The nations know this is not an international thing. At the end of the day, the nations got all our power and riches that Christ is going to give us. They convince you through Christianity that guess what? Everything that they got, they're going to keep and then they're going to give the nation of Israel whatever they think. No. Christ is going to take everything, because woe to the bloody city. That's all I got to say. All right? So, this is what it says. Them boys were scared. All right? David rather sent his servant unto thee to search the city and to spy it out and to overthrow it. Wherefore Hanun took David's servant and shaved off one half of their beard and cut off their garment in the middle, even to their buttocks, and sent them away. Go away. Disrespect them, man. When they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, tarry to Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. All right? Because David was not going to, have them be exposed to that kind of shame, so people could see their baby face. You know what I'm saying? No. You must remember me as a man. And that's just how it goes. So let's look at the word heathen. All right? Heathen. People, nation, usually used for a non-Israelitish people, and thus has the meaning of Gentiles. Now think about that reference in Psalms 133. All right? A song of David. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.